Thank you, Speaker. My question is for the government leader in the Senate. Leader, the rail system for passengers and commercial trade alike through much of Canada is at a standstill due to protesters blocking the lines. Our farmers, who have dealt with so much hardship over the past year, need a functioning rail system to get their product to market and to receive machinery. And Leader, what did the Prime Minister do last week while our country almost ground to a halt? Well, he was overseas, warmly embracing the Iranian foreign minister, bowing his head to the regime's chief apologist. Leader, families of the 57 Canadians who lost their lives when Iran shot down their plane last month are said to be outraged, rightfully outraged. We can only imagine their pain at the Prime Minister's behavior. Senator Gold, what exactly did the Prime Minister accomplish by shaking the hand and making friends with Iran's foreign minister? Is Iran handing over the black box? Providing compensation to the families? What was accomplished by this?
With questions.
Senator Gold.
Thank you very much for your question. The government's position has always been clear that with regard to the tragedy that happened and the loss of so many lives, Canadians and others, that its priority remains trying to get a full, transparent, and accountable investigation underway. It has not been easy, and efforts continue to be made to ensure that the black boxes are transported to France, where they can be properly reviewed. And I understand that that was one of the objectives of the Prime Minister's meetings to which you refer. You began your question by properly noting the impact of the rail stoppages and blockages that have affected Canadians from all coasts and across the country. Simply to say that the government is seized with this issue and working diligently to try to bring this situation to a quick and peaceful resolution.
Reply.
Well, clearly that wasn't the question, Leader.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how inviting Iran's chief apologist to tea and making friends with him will resolve this issue.
Yeah.
That was the question. And I would like that question answered. And I will give you the opportunity after I ask my supplementary to answer my first question, because you didn't do so. Yesterday, the Alberta Wheat and Barley Commission said that the rail blockade is nearing a crisis situation for Western Canadian farmers, as millions of tons of grain in the prairies are unable to be exported. Propane shortages due to blockades are another major concern for our farmers, households and businesses. And propane rationing is already taking place in Atlantic Canada.
Yep. Yeah,
Leader, what does it say about the Prime Minister's priorities that he chose to stay overseas last week? Again, making friends with Iran's foreign minister, seeking votes for the Security Council seat, instead of dealing with a growing crisis here at home.
Gold.
Well, thank you for your question again. I will try to answer your question more successfully, at least to your satisfaction. But I repeat, the engagement that the government is making with Iran flows directly from its commitment and concern about making sure that there is both justice for the victims of that tragedy and a proper accountability and investigation. In the broader geopolitical context, that the position of the government remains, and that engagement is a necessary step to provide for some measure of de-escalation in the region, a region that is fraught with tension and poses a danger to the world. With regard to the concerns that you properly express about the impact on farmers, on business, and on citizens of the ongoing blockages that have been taking place in this country. I've been advised that the government fully understands and is deeply concerned about the impact that this has had on not only farmers and not only small businesses, but on Canadians who rely upon freight rail and other transportation, towns and communities that rely upon services, whether it's propane in my province of Quebec, chlorine for fresh drinking water, and so on. This is a difficult situation. This chamber knows and needs no lecture from me about how complicated this is in the context of the relationships between Canada and its First Nations and the challenges that we face in moving forward. The government remains committed to addressing the economic impact on all Canadians and the challenges that we're currently facing with the underlying issues to this dispute in a timely and we all hope, peaceful fashion.